Hello, everyone, and I'm very excited to welcome here Flora to our podcast. As you know, we do these interviews to creators, experiences creators, content creators that are making a great business out of their audience on social media. And in specific, here we are talking Instagram. I actually met with Flora some month ago. And we have a friend in common that put us in touch, and I got the pleasure to understand a bit more about Flora and what she's doing as a creator. And I found her story quite interesting, and especially how she's growing her business not only as a creator actually, but as an entrepreneur. And so today I'm super curious to dig a bit deeper and unveil some of the most interesting parts about her journey. So to start, Flora, maybe you could share a bit of your background and what brought you to be a creator, and as well as what kind of creator are you?
Okay, so my name is Flora. I'm 29 years old and I live in Bali since 7 years now. Before, I used to work in fashion and luxury. And then I moved here because I get a job in marketing and in a travel agency. And then I get fired from this company. And I was thinking, okay, so now it's my turn to be an entrepreneur and to start something. And so that's why I started BaliwithFlow, which is a travel company that helps travelers from around the world to discover the real Bali and the real Indonesia through local experiences and hidden gems.
Super cool. And so what was the moment where you shifted basically treating this from maybe a hobby? I guess did you travel before to Indonesia, or how did this business came about?
Yeah, so before I travel, I travel around all Indonesia already. I've been to so many places, like even Sulawesi, the Raja Ampat, Lombok, Komodo. Like literally, Bali was kind of the place where I feel this was like my home now. And the shift that I have, I think it's when I really start to invest in my business and in myself, when I really start to put myself like 100% into this. And when I start to surround myself with other people, like having someone helping me to build a website, having a content strategist, trying to have also someone helping me for my everyday task and everything. Here, I really start to see the shift from just a project to a real business.
Okay. And maybe can you share a bit more of how did you start it? So we come back to that moment where you were working and then you decided, no, I'm gonna build a travel company and I need a website, or I need some people to help me do a content strategy. Like how was that moment? What were you thinking? Why you decided to go and ask for people for help and not doing everything alone?
So before, basically, like I had a lot of people who were contacting me from word of mouth because they knew that I was living in Bali, and they were asking me like, oh, can you help me to build an itinerary? Can you help me like with this? Can you give me some tips about Bali and everything like that? So in the beginning, yeah, it was quite of a hobby because I was not charging everyone, and it was like, oh, okay, this is just for my friends, so I'm going to give the tips anyway. And then when I start to have like more people like coming to contact me, and even people that I didn't know, like even from my Instagram or from the different platform where I am, I was like, okay, so maybe I can start to turn this into an actual business, because my knowledge of Bali and Indonesia is actually something that I can sell. And this is something where I can actually create experiences, and I can actually create trips that are really meaningful and that people can join.
Super interesting. And maybe how this whole content creation happened. So I understand at the beginning you had friends that were contacting you, reaching out because they just knew you were living there. And how did your audience expanded from only your friends to like more than friends, and that you understood actually these people would be interested to even pay for my tips or pay for my experiences?
So basically, I was always organizing. I am still organizing right now, like trips with like my friends. And I had some people contacting me who would like, oh, your experience looks so cool, I would like to join. So yeah, I think the shift happened here, and then it happened also when I stopped just sharing like basic video of my travel journey, and when I starting to share real tips about Bali, like places that I like, places that are good to go, or experiences where that people can enjoy and do here in Bali. And yeah, I think the shift come from there. And also when I started to have some businesses in Bali who were interested to work with me and collaborating with me. They were like, oh, okay, so we like what you do, and we would like to propose you to make a collaboration, like working together.
How many followers you had at that time? Like, how would you say, like, maybe you had at the beginning some already followers from your friends, and then you started sharing a bit more of these tips that are not only the places that you've been, but maybe others that you've collected, curated. And then how does this follower number increased? Actually, I think that today the number of followers is not really correlated with the engagement that you get out of your community. But I just wanted to know, how did you manage basically to grow and get all of your follower growing, because that's so hard. That's very, very hard for all of those starting. And so I was just wondering what has been your experience or any advice that you could share on that.
So in the beginning, I think my follower were about like 800 people following me, like as a person, and not me as BaliwithFlow. And in the past 2 months, we grew the count to more than 3,000 people, almost 4,000. So it's so cool. Like, I didn't expect the growth to be that fast, and I think it happened because we had some videos that started to get a little bit viral. So I think this is how it helped, because the reach was more important. So of course, then there were more people who start to see like what I was doing, my work, and just like being curious about it. And yeah, I think this is how it happened with the reach of the videos that were getting viral, and also like the carousel as well. Like, I think this is something that some creators are underestimating, but the carousel also have a really, really great reach when you are sharing about real tips about what you're doing in your business, or something that is actually very, very knowledgeable and where people can relate about. It's the type of content that can actually help your account to grow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I see. I see. And what was your first product that you sold, or your first experience? Were there the guides, or was it the actual trip or an experience? What was it?
So the first thing I sell online was my Bali guide. So basically, this guide, I'm quite proud of it because it took me and the team 2 years to make it like proper. And yeah, I was really proud of it. So what I did is that the first 50 copies I give them for free, and in less than 24 hours, the 50 copies were already like sold out. So then I was like, oh my God, there is actually a real interest for what I'm doing and what I'm proposing here. Um, And yeah, now we are keep selling the guides still now, but the thing that are the most sold right now, it's the experiences.
Experiences. So tell me a bit more about this kind of experiences and services that you offer, and who are your ideal clients?
Okay, so the experiences that I sell online on my page and with Bali, it's experiences that you basically can't find on Instagram or on TikTok. It's something that basically you're going with a guide here, like a local guide that is very
Trustworthy.
yeah, that is very trustworthy and that will show you parts of Bali that people don't see everywhere. So, for example, the type of activities that we have here would be a hidden trekking, like secret trekking, and then that is followed by a ride, like boat ride, for example. We have like sunset cruise experience with barbecue on the beach. We have a secret camping experience on private island. We would have like dolphin tours as well, but where there is no crowds. So this is actually like super cool. Yeah, we had quite different experiences, like for example, maybe also e-bike tour in the rice fields. So
Super
yeah,
interesting. Like I love the diversity of things that you're offering, and I think that also talking to different creators and experiences creators in the last months really made me think sometimes that actually creating an experiences is a form of art, is a form of creativity that people are underestimating how much creativity really entails in like thinking which activities and how to put them together and how to make everything fit together. And if you think like when you're doing like maybe a painting, you're starting with an idea, then you do a sketch, and then you put the colors, and then everything had to fit together. And with an experience is very, very similar. And I think that on the very big group activities, or let's say experiences, like I'm thinking right now the Olympics, for example, or big festivals, these are really considered like, wow, there is a full team working for multiple years, and could be considered almost as a form of art. Then we have the cinema and the theater, but then these small group experiences that are really immersive, really curated, both in terms of the activities that are done as well as the crowd that is coming. I think it's not so considered as an art, and your example really makes me think how just focusing on one place, you are almost like a Bali experiences artist. And so I really see like how all of this, no, what do you think about this concept?
yeah. I think so. Basically, most of the people that you see online that are creating content about Bali, they are just more like giving tips or just recommendation of places. But from my experience and from what I see is that most of them, they just have been in Bali like once or twice. And the experience or the places they propose are not really like kind of authentic. So I really try to share places and spots. I mean, all the places and spots that I recommend, it's places where I've been myself. And the experiences that I share is one where I've been trying them. I've been discussing with the locals. We are tailoring with the locals here, with the partners that I have on spot, the best experience as possible for the travelers, because we trust in very like conscious traveling. So that's why it's something that is important for me, and also then to give back to the community.
Okay, so what are would you say in like 3-4 words, the differentiation that you have compared to other travel creators in the same region, and a bit more about your ideal type of client and customers, like how you're positioning with them and what's special about what you are offering?
So I think the people who are interested in joining like BaliwithFlow experiences or buying the guide or joining even the trips are more like conscious travelers. They can be like couples, they can be solo travelers, they can be like a group of friends who wants to meet two people, who wants to expand. It's people who are literally looking for an impact in their travel. So yeah, I think it's people who are looking for kind of transformation in their travel. Um, and I think it's also like people who really wants to have something to remember about their trip, more than just like going to chill in a beach club and just, oh, I've seen these things in Bali, and okay, this is just the thing that everyone is going to see. No, they really want to, yeah, I have something that we'll talk about for years, actually.
Okay. Okay. So you would say authenticity, impact, and then intensity of the experience, because memories very often come from intensity. And is there a specific group age or demographics that are with whom you are most successful?
Yeah, usually our traveler are around like, let's say 25 to 50 years old.
Oh wow! So this is quite a large audience that you
Yeah,
have.
yeah, it's quite a large audience.
Interesting. And coming back a bit on your business, like we were talking now about experiences, but like as a creator, you could sell also digital products, partnership, affiliates, experiences. And I was very curious about after your first product that you sold, a guide, why you decided to go into experiences. I understand that travel is a category that is very good to for experiences in general. But why do you think you decided actually to go into that, and how much today of your business do experiences? Which percentage of your basically yearly revenue come from experiences today versus maybe affiliates or other type of products?
So we started the experiences. I think the idea came because, so I was already organizing trips before, but just for my friends, but already for kind of like small group of friends. So from, let's say, 5 to 10 people. And then I was thinking, okay, so why I wouldn't like open this to other travelers, like other people who would like to join us, who would like to join me. And yeah, I think the idea of creating the experience idea came from here, and I think it came also from the fact that Bali, it's now like the number one top destination where everyone wants to go. Everyone wants to travel to Bali, and I wanted to propose and to promote something different that is actually the real Bali, the authentic Bali. Because I feel like some of the places now are too much over consumed by the mass tourism, and Bali is losing a little bit of his own like beauty and authenticity because of that. So I want the travelers who are coming from around the world to rediscover like how it was from before, how it still be, and how they can experience the yeah the real Indonesia actually.
Okay. And have you made any other strategic consideration? Like, do you think, for example, experiences is is a better way for you to connect with your clients, to create your community, to create content with them? I'm also now maybe going a bit off topic, but if we look at like AI and how all of the AI is impacting our social media, maybe I could clearly see a future where more like a big percentage of the content that is outside and social media will come from AI, and it will be AI generated. And so that's going to drive creators to make more content in real life with their audience. And so I was wondering if you made any strategic consideration about that, or going on to experience has been just a natural shift that you made, and where you saw demand and you started doing that.
So I think we have tried to work with AI, for example, for creating the program for the guest. But for me, it doesn't work. I mean, in terms of creation for the programs,
You
the
mean
itinerary,
the itinerary? Okay, okay.
yeah, for the itineraries or the activities, it doesn't work because the AI tools are fed with what is available online, and most of the things we propose are not. So that's why it's quite complicated for me to work with AI in terms of building the itineraries and stuff like this. But for other kind of stuff in the business, like for example, to have automated a chat on the website that we can feed with our information and our tools, and to help the travelers to have answer to their question. For example, here it's possible, but for the itineraries, it's not.
Okay, okay. And in terms of like the for when you saw like different creators, do you think any type of creator can be successful with experiences, or you think that it's also still important to have a diversified revenue stream? Because I'm seeing many creators actually starting with maybe the guides or starting with experiences and then expanding their offering in different products. And in my view, when you're like doing solo businesses, small businesses, little brands as well, it's very important to have this diversified revenue stream where you have different kind of experiences, where you have affiliate links, where you have guides, etc. So that you can balance basically the frequency, the margins, and you can a little bit work with different bundles and offerings to make basically your passion your business.
Yeah, I think it's very important to have, I think, at least 3 different type of stream. So for me in BaliwithFlow, I have the digital guide, then we have the experiences, and then the last one is the group trips or the custom trip that I organize. So then it can also help you to reach different type of audience. So that's why my audience is also like very spread, because for example, some of the people who are younger might not have the budget to have like a custom trip. So they would rather go through the digital guide, for example. So that's why I think it's very important to have different type of stream that will bring you different revenues. And yeah, I will 100% recommend to other creators to work this way.
And can you share, like, for example, on experiences or the digital guides, a bit of like some numbers related to, for example, your margins, etc. And I'm asking this specifically for people that want to start as well, being maybe creator in other countries, etc. Like, how did your business grow? What are the proof that you can say of like how did you grow your business? What's your I don't know, revenue margins, best experiences, what do you recommend, multi-day, single day, escapes, and also now thinking about all the maybe yoga teacher, fitness teachers, experts in business, in marketing, that they want to start in experiences or doing some events where they can invite their audience. What are the learning that you can share there, and a few of the numbers to prove what you're saying?
So for now, since we have launched the digital guide, I think it was in April, and now we are in July. So we have already sold like 200 guides. The guide is sold at 20 euro. So you can do the conversion.
The math.
Yeah, you can do the math. For the experiences, so right now we try to organize like one experiences that is a group experience for the escape, so the day trip per week. And then otherwise the people can just like take the experiences like as they want, like custom online, and they can choose to join a group trip but with some other people, or just having like a private. So usually the group trips are sold between I think the lowest we have is at 45 euro for a half day trip, and it goes to 200 euro per person. And it has different inclusions into each package. Last month we sold about 35 experiences, and now we are launching like more the group trips. So we have one that is upcoming soon in August for going to Java Island. It's the island that is very close to Bali, and we have a combination trip with Java and Bali. So far we have sold already like 4 spots out of 10. So, which is really, really cool. And yeah, so we will have more trips to come. And yeah, I think the most difficult part for me right now is to keep up with the production and the sales. Because I also receive inquiries for custom trip at the same time. I just actually received a last minute trip like 3 days ago with a traveler that arrived today for a 33-night trip. So this was really like the craziest itinerary I had to create. And yeah, I did it. We did it with the team. So I'm really happy about that, because now I can finally see the progress with more and more people like reaching out and who wants to do custom trip or group trip or experiences with Bali.
Yeah, this is very, very cool, and also talking with you because you're one of the beta users or one of our clients of MAP. So we've been talking the other day how this retreats businesses is really something that's important for you, and how this basically would enable you to be almost $1 million business if you execute correctly in the next years, and which basically results in like having seven or eight retreat in a year, and I think this is really cool.
Yeah, I love the journey so far, even if sometimes it's quite difficult, but yeah, I love what I'm doing. I'm very passionate about what I do.
That's great to hear. Now going a bit more into the, let's say, business operation and how also we got in touch. So what drew you to try OffMap as a business platform for your for Bali?
I think what I really enjoyed in the approach of OffMap is that I really have the possibility to put into the site like the retreats, but also the experiences, which is something that most of the platform are not proposing. And soon you will have the option of the one-on-one calls that I'm really, really interested about. So this helped me really to expand the business in a way where I can have everything set up into one place and not working with thousands of multiple tools. I think sometimes it's a little bit too much. So yeah, here I think, and also the platform is very easy to use. I really like the fact that there is also an email flow where this can directly like get in touch with the travelers. And where I can conduct them like from being interested into a trip or an experience directly into a call, and then getting in touch easily with them.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's a bit of the value proposition that we tried to bring in, no? In our kind of link in bio solution. So first of all, starting with experiences, because as we were mentioning before, I think experiences is going to be one of the most important products that creators have to sell, or most important services. And then indeed you can add like one-on-one calls, soon we'll add work courses, as well as the email part, which is super important because you always need to get in touch with your audience. And then we are also in the you can handle all the checkouts and waiting lists. I think you're right now using very much our waiting list tool, which talking also to other clients that we have, they find it really useful. And then we are cooking some interesting new future in AI that we'll be able to make you try soon.
Yeah, this one I can't wait to try it because right now we are receiving like a lot of inquiries and people who are messaging me like daily, and there is some questions that are very like recurring in the travelers who wants to come to Bali or to Indonesia, and I think this tool will really help in the communication flow.
Yeah. Yeah, indeed. So the AI chat will be basically your AI secretary, as we call it, will be able to qualify leads, answer frequent asked questions, and give you interesting data and business intelligence to know what to propose next. So maybe you're going to find out actually that people are interested in your hair care or skin care. And so you will be able to share some of your tips into that, even though it's not necessarily exactly your category. And I find this for small businesses and entrepreneurs extremely interesting and useful. Maybe I would like to know more. How were you handling the business before OffMap? Like, what were the different tools you were using, and how did basically OffMap upgraded your experience, or it changed anything in your day-to-day work?
So before OffMap, basically, we were just handling everything through Notion mostly. And Google Sheets. I mean, before Google Sheets, then Notion, and now more with OffMap. So yeah, I think it was a quite like messy in a way, and sometimes I was feeling a little bit behind because I didn't have like a proper structure. What I really enjoy in OffMap also, it's the link in bio can directly show to everyone like what kind of group trips are upcoming or the experiences that are upcoming. So this is very helpful. So it helped me to keep up, to have like a proper like calendar on the back end side, and for the traveler to just see directly like what is coming for them. So yeah, I think it really helps to get some structure and to get like a proper tool that I can directly send to the traveler when they are asking me like what are the upcoming group trip, for example. I can just send them the link and they can just check like everything that is available. Otherwise, like before, we were just sending everything like by DM and writing everything like hand to hand, you know.
Yeah. And no, indeed, I think looking a bit at the future kind of commerce, for many different creators now starting to build their businesses around their audiences or around their social media account. I think that having that solution in a link in bio with like these commerce functionalities where you have the checkout of your client and customer that's very close to the actual social content is very useful, because if you have to all the time send them to maybe a different website where it's like more of a window website, then they have to find the right product that they want, they get confused, they get distracted, then you're sending a DM, maybe you're sending in late, and it's a bit like in normal e-commerce, let's say, of brands, the less clicks they need to do in order to get actually to purchase from you. That's better than for you and your conversion. And you can then also not necessarily convert them as like paid users straight away, but even on the waiting list, just capturing their email, capturing their contacts, and also asking the right questions to qualify the leads is many times, like, I think very useful. And I saw how OffMap really increases the conversion rate that creators get from their link in bio from a purchase perspective.
Yeah, that's true.
And if you were to advise any other creator on how to professionalize their business setup, what would you tell them? Like, imagine creators of similar like you, they're growing their audience, they're starting with offering more cooler experiences, retreats, guides, or one-on-one coaching calls. Like, what would be your advice to them?
I think my advice would be you need to surround yourself with people or with tools that are going to help you, because you can't do everything on your own. So, and yeah, don't spend too much time on the branding and like creating stuff that will not actually serve your sales. So yeah, I think the most important thing is trying to find like few tools that you're going to use like every day, and then surround yourself with people who are going to help you in your business. I think that's the best advice I would get.
And what are the key people today that are helping you, and how much time do they spend doing the different activities?
You mean the people in my team?
Yes.
Okay, so I've been working over the past 3 months with a web developer to create a website for Bali with. This was really a big shift because we were actually being able to see the experiences like going live and the group trips going live. Then I think also the use of map was really helping in here. But yeah, then within my team, I have someone that is working like full time with me as my assistant. She's helping me on all the content creation side. Here, I'm also working with another person that is specialized in audience monetization. This is quite new. Like, we've been working together since like a month right now. And basically what we have done now is that we have changed all the strategy of the content for BaliwithFlow, creating some series that will come up like very soon. Trying to incorporate also testimonials from our travelers who have tried the experience with BaliwithFlow. And yeah, who else? So basically I've been working with some people specialized for the web and design part. I have someone like full time, and then some other people who are specialized in content and strategy.
Okay. And on for example, the web development and you've also tried off map. Do you think like, would you advise to still have a different website and invest in that web development, or actually really focusing on your link in bio and the commerce side? And you think that basically the mini website on mobile is enough? Like, what would be your recommendation? Because I get this question asked quite a lot when people say with to off map, basically, how is it just substituting my website, or should I still have a website? What would be your advice?
So I think this really depends on the business you have. So for me, it's quite something that is inevitable. Like, I need to have a website as well, because even like for the partners with who I'm working on site, they quite need to have like a deeper understanding of what I'm doing. But I think like for some different type of businesses, like online coaching, for example, or entrepreneurs who mostly sell online products, I think they don't really need the website. They can just start with off-map, for example. This is already like super helpful tool, and it already have everything. It's like a all-in package. But yeah, me, it's kind of a mix, because some of the, like, we sell online, but we also sell on site. So that's why the business, it's, I think, needs more like communication. And also the market in Bali, it's very, very competitive. So to be able to position Bali online, the website was very much needed. But yeah, I think also if I would not have been already doing the trips since, because I've been doing already the trips since like 3-4 years now. So I already had like the cash flow to invest into the website. But if I'm thinking like 4 years ago, if I would have had off map, I would not have invested straight away into the website, because I think off map was already enough to like just put online like what I had, like the experiences, the digital guide, and the group trip.
No, makes sense. And if you go on the other people that are helping you, so your assistant, for example, I think you mentioned like last time she's spending quite a lot of time also helping you answer DMs, doing content, etc. What are the most repetitive tasks that she's doing that you think where you think AI could actually help?
So basically, right now she's spending 4 to 5 hours of her day responding to DMs. So yeah, I think here it's where AI could be very helpful in her daily tasks, because I would like her to focus more on production with me on the next trip, and content as well, like creating the videos, writing the script, for example, for the voiceover or stuff like this. And yeah, the DM, we take this like very seriously and we answer to everyone. So that's why it's very, very time consuming. I love to connect with the people who wants to talk to me on my page and everything. But at the same time, if I can have maybe like some basic answers that can be already like sent to the travelers. Like, for example, I have the question like, when should I come to Bali? This is like basically something super basic that can be automated, I think. Because the answer, it's always the same. Like, there is one dry season, there is one wet season. You can come during that time of the year or during that time of the year. So yeah, there is some questions that are very recurring and that can be answered, I think, thanks to the AI tools. And then when people want something like more deeper, like deeper conversation and stuff like this, it can be answered by us, by me or by her.
Yeah. No, makes sense. Super interesting working on this, and I think from a let's say perspective of like making the speed again of conversation. So where you're like asking something on DMs and not having to wait and having the answer straight away. That comes from your own knowledge. Your own is not like some LLMs that answered, but it's actually coming from your answers and with your tone of voice. I think that's really interesting and actually both beneficial for you and your team as well as for the people that are asking, for the clients, etc., because they get the answers straight away. And going a bit more into like what into the future, kind of your vision and how do you want to expand and the business in general next year, and how do you think MAP can help you do that?
Okay, so what I'm thinking for the next year, it's like I would like to be able to have 2 group trips minimum, 2 to 3 maybe per month. So it's quite a lot in terms of logistics, because it means like for me, I cannot be also on all the trips. Otherwise, I would be traveling all of the time and doing the same trip all of the time. So yeah, I think I'm looking for Offmat to be able to support me in the creation of those trips, those group trips, and having a better like a streamline with the wait list, for example, the email workflow, maybe the AI through an FAQ that can help, because I think when it will grow to that point, we will get like more and more and more travelers also asking questions and whether they are before coming to the trip, during the trip, or even after the trip.
Sure.
So yeah, I think this is the goal for now, and of course creating more experiences all around Bali, and why not expanding the experiences around Indonesia. But for now, all the experiences like day trips and half day trips are only in Bali. Yeah, I would like to be able to expand to maybe some other islands that are close by. And I'm also been thinking to create a new digital product, so a second guidebook, because the first guide that I've created for Bali is Bali Essentials, and it's only covering like the main area of Bali. So yeah, that would be a goal for me as well. But yeah, now we are focusing way more on the group trips because this is what is working best. So I don't have really a lot of time to write, to
Yeah.
spend time like writing everything. And yeah, the guide that I made, it's not made through AI. It's really made by me also exploring the places, then writing honest review about it, and recommend it this to the traveler. So yeah, I hope I can find time to do this as well. But for now, the priority is to focus on the group trip and the day trip.
And do you feel right now when you're talking about all of this vision and this project that you have, do you think you feel more like as an entrepreneur or as a content creators that doing this kind of on the side? Like what's your sensation with that when you're thinking about like growing this, since you have already almost a team, you already have multiple product, etc. And I'm like thinking, in your mentality, is it like the mentality of like a creator that does mostly spends time doing content, or more like a CEO of your business?
Yeah, I don't see myself as just like a creator or even content creator. Here it's really more, yeah, like a business, because we have a team like right now. So yeah, I see more myself as an entrepreneur, as a traveler and experiencer, kind of, because I need to try the experience and the places before being able to recommend them. And maybe also kind of as a designer, because I am also creating the trips myself and the itineraries. I think I'm the person you will meet that have the most highest screen time on Google Map. Like my screen time on Google Map weekly is around 15 hours. So I spend a lot of time on Google Map, searching new places, creating the trips. This is what truly fits me and fits my creativity. So yeah, I see definitely more myself as an entrepreneur, designer, and than just a creator.
Yeah, yeah. And in the whole, let's say, with all these years doing all of these trips, you probably accumulated so many contacts of different people that ask you things, etc. And how you're handling all of these contacts? Like, how do you re-engage with them for your future plans, for your, like, how much? I mean, I guess there is a bit of a transition moment where at the beginning was very messy. Probably now you're getting into like a way of like finding the right path and system basically to handle all of those. But I was just curious, in all of those years, how many possible contacts you get into all of that?
Yeah, so now we have quite a lot of contacts of people, but this part, it's still not yet really well handled, to be honest. Like, I don't have a CRM yet. We have everything through Notion sheets. And I think this is something that we need to kind of exploit more. I would like to be able to launch a newsletter maybe by the end of the year. So yeah, this is on the project streamline, but not yet started.
Okay. And if you, what have you learned about building this creator business, basically, or this like social media, heavily social media based business around you and Bali with and the trips and your community that you wish you've known when you started?
Okay, so I think I learned like two things. First thing, you can share 100 times the same video, nobody cares. Because I mean, they care, but they don't care. Like, you can share 100 times the same videos actually online, because people are just like consuming so much content right now online that you can literally share again and again. And the most important is to repeat your message. So repeat what you are doing, repeat your experience, and don't think like, oh yeah, so what if they have already seen that? What if? Forget about the what if and just repeat your message, repeat about your product, what you're sharing, your experiences and everything. This is so much important to have a consistency in terms of content creation in this, like repeating the message. And then the second thing I've been learning for the past months, like for some videos that were really, really working well, like I had like some video that get more than 100,000 views or 200,000 views, is that you start to have also haters. So, and here, not taking the message personally and being quite detached about this, like people are not judging you and yourself, but they are just judging the situation. So here, I think this is something that I was not handling quite well in the beginning, because I tried to justify myself into every comments that I could have. And now I try to get more detached and to be like, okay, so here, if they want to argue about something, or if the comments is not like constructive for me and we cannot have like open communication here, I'm just not going to respond. Just for my peace of mind, it's better to process it that way.
Very, very good and interesting advice. So for all of those that are listening to us, beware of like these two things. I couldn't agree more about repetition. Indeed, this is very, very important. And haters are there to hate, so they'll keep being there whatever you do, and you don't even have to have a big audience to have some haters. So
yes.
So this is things that you learn doing social media in general. Great, we're getting almost to the end of our conversation, so I would love to have the final quick fire questions that we usually do at the end. The first one will be, and you please answer in a few words, in a few sentences. So they're supposed to be super fast. So a business tool that you can't live without.
Off-map and CapCut.
A favorite travel experience you've had and why?
Sulawesi and Sumba. Nobody would know where this is, but because of connecting with the locals.
Okay. A creator or entrepreneur you admire?
Melanie Ba. She's like doing a lot of really like cinematic and crazy drone shots video that I really, really like. And she's been to Bali many times and to Indonesia many times. So yeah, I really appreciate her content and what she's doing.
Okay, super interesting. Well, thank you for sharing. It's been lovely to speaking with you, and I hope that our listeners enjoyed the conversation, and I could learn something about how to be a creator entrepreneur and make a living out of your passion.
the conversation that we have. It was really nice, and I hope it helped some people who wants to start a business and who are not yet confident about it, to just start, to just like do it, and just like try to focus more on what you do and what you want to share than just like the small little things that will just like waste like a lot of time. So it's much better like you just focus on you, on yourself, and just do it. Just don't think too much. Just do the things that you want to do.
Perfect. We'll share the Instagram account and contacts of Flora as well in the notes, so that you can also reach out and see all of the very cool experiences and things she's doing. And if you're traveling to Bali, make sure to reach out and check all the cool stuff BaliwithFlow and the team are preparing.
Thank you so much, Adrienne.
Bye.